Says on air, and it is. Hey, internet friends. Good morning. It's Saturday morning here in Asheville. A little overcast, but that's okay. It'll go away. And here with my friend Damon again, Synergy Cafe, Synergy Collaborative, and Damon is a beginner meditation coach, and he's helping us clarify some of the frequently asked questions that beginners have when they're thinking about meditating. I got to turn that off now. There we go. So, Damon, the question today is, how do I learn to meditate? Are you there?
I am here. Good morning, Bradley. And just to clarify, I am a happiness and meditation coach. So meditation is one part of it, but with the goal to be happier and more balanced in our lives.
Oh, I thought the happiness just came from meditating.
Well, a lot of it does, actually. Just a second. My power cord unhooked here. I want to click it back in real quick.
Uh-oh, you got to have your power. He lost source for a second there. His silver thread came undone.
Alrighty. So how do you learn to meditate? Well, if you've watched any of our other previous videos, there's been similar questions like, can I learn from a book or a DVD? Do I need someone? Can I get by with learning meditation on my own? Those sort of things. And how do you learn to meditate? Again, you can certainly, especially as a beginner and you're trying different things, there's lots of great books. There's lots of great recorded guided meditations and different instruction for meditation. We've even shared a couple of different forms here on our little talks, and I'm happy to do that again today because not everyone's going to see each one of these questions. And it bears repeating. That's one of the things that's lovely about meditation. It's the joy is in the repetition. And so we can learn from books, we can learn from DVDs. There's a million different YouTube videos on different forms of meditation. And it's also wonderful to learn from someone directly, to go to a workshop or a class. And the reason being there, as opposed to just watching something or reading it out of a book, is you actually get feedback from someone, which is, you and I are both martial artists, and if we tried to learn a martial art from a book, we probably wouldn't be very proficient or even be very good artists, because it's that feedback from someone outside of ourselves that gives us those tweaks that can see and feel from the outside how we're doing, that actually allows us to really progress.
Exactly. The feedback of a round kick to the side of the head will teach you how to put your hands up.
Exactly. Yeah, or even just doing your form, and even doing it in the mirror. There's so many things we don't even know we don't know that we're not doing correctly, especially in the beginning, And so to have someone to be able to guide us in those points, and also to support us in actually gaining a new habit and building the practice, because that's it's really easy to bounce from one meditation practice to another because we don't feel like we're getting benefit from it. Like we might try something for a week or a few days or even a month or two and feel like, this is all I can learn from this particular practice. I'm not really getting anywhere. I'm not growing. And it may really be that there's plenty. It's all you need is one meditation practice, but it's the deeper discipline of the practice and refinement is where we get the deeper and deeper and greater benefits from it.
So to summarize the question, how do I learn to meditate, I think it just starts. Starting is how you learn to meditate. Kind of like riding a bike, you have to try and start. I do a lot of blogging, so you have to just do it and create a routine around it, and then you start learning from it, right?
Yeah, well, in essence, I would start with finding something that felt comfortable to me in my nature to practice as a meditation. And that might start with a book or a DVD or something online or something that someone teaches me, and then the real learning comes in practicing it.
Exactly.
How much do you really learn in the beginning? Like even with a martial art, you do learn big pieces, but where does the real learning start? I mean, the more I'm in my martial arts practice, it's like my learning is much deeper now than it was at the beginning. I was just getting coordinated with my body, the basic mechanics. Now I'm really getting into the...
Some say you don't start learning until you're black belt.
Right, and I feel that way. Like I'm just going to be testing in August for my black belt, and I'm 3.5 years into my practice, and I do feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I can really learn from it. Now that I've actually got some basic mechanics and forms down, how I can really apply it in my life. So yeah, there's always another level. And so really how to learn is to get a good teacher, someone who can help you continue to refine, get through the basics, stay disciplined with it in a way that works for you, and continue to go deeper and deeper with it.
It's like with meditation, oftentimes it's learning how to do nothing.
Right.
And that's one of our biggest challenges, because for the most part, we're human doings. We're always doing something. We're always thinking about something. The mind's always going. So being able to quiet that down, slow things down, that's a job in and of itself.
Well, yes, and even though in the open heart prayer meditation that is now my current path and that I like to share and enjoy with people, allowing our hearts to open as well and align our minds. And I've been mentioning my martial arts practice as an analogy, but there's a direct, I have a teacher. I have a bigger teacher, and then I have a mentor for my meditation practice, because my teacher lives in Australia, the other side of the planet. We only get to see him, once a year or twice a year if I'm lucky. And those are huge quantum leaps in realization, especially when, we practice together for like a couple of weeks at a time and learn all kinds of new things. And then I have a regular teacher, mentor, that I usually meet with at least once a week, where I share what my challenges are. And a lot of it's just my day-to-day life stuff that's coming up, but then how do I apply my meditation practice to find deeper insight and healing through it? And so I have that as well, specifically with meditation.
Well, I suppose that if you're trying to learn to meditate, and then all of a sudden you've got all sorts of chaotic things that happened in your life, you just kind of turn it off, when that's probably when you should be turning it on.
Chaos, and it doesn't even have to be chaos. We live in such a busy, distracting culture. Distraction is everywhere. There's more flavors of food and types of food than we could probably taste and eat all. There's a handful of new exciting movies, flashier, more amazing. Got a little angel here blessing me.
Hello.
Coming out every day, every week. There's amazing books being written. There's work, there's family, there's so many things. Practices. And I actually stay pretty busy. It's still a challenge to fit it all in. And meditation can seem like something so simple, even boring or mundane compared to some of the really glitzy, amazing things out there, that it can be a challenge to keep with it unless you can really appreciate how it's helping us. And
right, you put a priority on it.
Subtle. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I consider sneezes a confirmation, so.
Okay, you've been confirmed.
Yeah. We need a community. We at least need one other person to connect with, to stay in it, to stay in the flow, in the practice.
Okay, there's so that's the essence of how do I learn to meditate. But there's also tools out there too. Like I've got a thing on my phone. It's called the Insight Timer.
Right.
And that's something that helps me to realize that I'm actually meditating with thousands of other people from around the world. When you're just watching it on YouTube or something, there's really no interaction. So I think it's important to have an actual person that you can connect with and hold you accountable and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I did fail to mention there are quite a few great apps out there. There's one, I think it's called Mindspace, that I downloaded. It's got all kinds of timers and different forms of meditation on it that you can practice throughout the day. And I've been inspired, but I haven't taken action on it yet, of like creating my own little app instead of Mindspace, Heartspace.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that is a great way, because everybody's got a smartphone nowadays, and if they don't, they want one, or they're in the process of getting one. And so, yeah, we have those apps right at our fingertips. There's another great one, Omvana, which is just a huge library of recorded, different teachers and guided meditations that are out there.
That's that Mind Valley, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 They've got quite an organization with all that stuff.
Yeah, it is. That is an amazing organization of all the different things that they teach and just the dynamic culture that they have within their business. It's awesome.
They got a thing called Awesomeness Fest.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's close this one up. If you want to summarize with anything, Damon, we'll hear what you have to say on summarizing. How do I learn to meditate?
Find a method that you enjoy, and I recommend sticking with it. and finding a teacher or mentor to help you continue your practice and go deeper and deeper with it. At least one person, if not a whole community, to help.
Perfect. That makes sense to me. Go to some, they call it an ashram?
Well, that's one form, yeah.
Okay, well, that's enough. I think this has been about 10 minutes or so. We like to keep these kind of short.
Be a mountaintop, might be a temple, might be, you know, your own little altar in your room, you know. There
I've got one right back here.
you go.
Okay. Okay, thanks again, David, for taking the time, and thank you for watching it, whoever you are, wherever you are. Check in below and around this thing, so you want to get a hold of myself or Mr. Damon. You can do so with these links that are in and around here, or just Google the keywords. I bet you could Google Damon Beginner Meditation, and you'd find Damon somewhere on the vast internet. And me, just Google Magic Brad.
Starting to show up, right?
Yes. Okay, peace, love, and happiness.
Peace.
Enjoy.